Hey guys, Kate Simsley here, and welcome to my channel and another speed build. If you've been here before, I'm so glad that you're back, and if you're new, welcome in. Consider hitting the like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to the channel to be updated every time that I upload. Today we are going to be building the ultimate bachelor pad. So this house has one bedroom, one bathroom, and a very modern interior design. I did cut quite a bit of footage out of this build because it was a lot of me fiddling around. I really took my time on this build, thought about each thing that I was putting in, and yeah, I'm quite happy with the way that this turned out, and I hope that you like it. There I was just creating the front porch. I cut that out, so there's our giant front porch. In the end, I think we have like a barbecue and a table up there. You can change it up if you decide to download this. It is on the gallery, and it will be under the Ultimate Bachelor Pad. And you can download it that way. It is completely CC free. It is not pack limited, however. It uses something from pretty much everything. So just be aware of that. If you do go on the gallery and you want to download this and you don't have all the packs, it does show you which packs are used. And if you click on them, I think you can look at what items are used. A lot of times, people don't know this, but the base game or the game itself, will opt to switch out items that are missing for other base game items. So if you don't have a pack, you may still be able to download things. Make sure to check what it uses. It might just be a little decoration or something you can live without and replace. But yeah, everything is there for you to see and look at. So there I created front steps using platforms, and I love the way that they looked, and your Sims go up and down them fine. I play tested this house. Wow, I can't tell that. Sorry. Okay, I play tested this house thoroughly, and actually I had a lot of issues at first. Like my Sim would not go to the living room, and then when he was in the living room, he was going back out the front door to go to the other side of the living room. It was a mess. But I managed to get it all working properly, and yeah, it should be fine and good to go if you do download it. I apologize in advance if you hear a sound in the background. My son is home today. He just got home from his grandparents, and he's very hyper, so he is singing and making lots of noises. So you might hear that here and there. He's like 5 years old, but he's severely autistic, and he has a genetic condition, so he's a lot like an infant in that he does not understand that he has to be quiet sometimes. So he will be singing, probably you'll hear him. But, here I'm trying to add an archway to go into that little patio area that I created. I end up opting for this black triangular one. The platforms in that area were being a real pain in the butt. Every time I tried to put a fence, the entire platform system would disappear. It was driving me insane. I guess if platforms are underground, you can't put a fence. I don't know. Never tried to do it, but it wasn't working. Here I'm adding a big skylight on the side of the house. I love the way this looks from inside. I didn't get any pictures of it. Maybe I'll try and add some before I upload. It looks fantastic. So much light comes in, especially in the afternoon. And just the shadows that it casts in the game are beautiful. I am currently playing my game right now without reshade. And even then, the lighting, like Sims has very good lighting. Like their shadow effects and stuff in-game are pretty good. I like it a lot. I do prefer it with reshade, but I was having issues with my reshade. I don't know if anyone else has had this problem, but when I raise or lower items, the screen would flicker. You can probably see it in some of my other videos, but it was driving me insane. I tried to change the shortcut key. I guess it's something to do with DVI or something. I don't have a clue. I know nothing about reshade. I know that I put it in my game and it works. That's all I know. But it was like flickering, and it said something about the 9P being a shortcut for some DPI thing. I did manage to shut it off, but it shut off all of the reshade, so I'm not really sure. I looked online for like how to disable reshade sometimes and use it other times, and it said something about Shift F2. Tried it, wasn't working for me. Can't figure it out. I'm gonna have to do some research. But yeah, here I'm gonna be creating a small garden by the front door. And I do put a front pack. You'll see the front pack that I use. I use this debug item. It's like, I don't really know. It's like flooring. I think it's called like, something road, I forget. Anyway, it's really Get Famous, I think, and I used that for a front path, but it turned out that my sim could not walk on it, which I find really weird, because like it's used throughout the world. If you go to like the world, well, I'm saying like a lot. If you go to the world, like the Get Famous world, that is the flooring throughout the world, so I'm not sure why it wasn't working. I did end up removing it, and I just made the path the stone that matches the staircases. But you will see it in this build. It does end up going away, so if you download it, it's not there. I could have found something else that did work, but honestly, by the time I edited this video and everything last night, I was done. So I just put the easy root stone floor. So there I'm making the garden. I put these little red flowers in a bush. I put in some like fun little wisps of grass behind the bush, which you see from inside. It looks really cute. And that's about it for here. I really enjoyed this build a lot. I ended up changing that to that lovely little flower pot. And I'm not sure where I go next. Honestly, I haven't watched this really back at all. Oh, there I am putting that. I don't even know. It's like sidewalk or something. It looked so good. Unfortunately, I had to go. But that's fine. So I'm going to put some bushes up the side of the walkway just to separate it off. And yeah. Now, the backyard of this build, I created a pond, which you'll see later on. It is made out of a pool, so your Sims can actually swim in it, but it's made to look like a pond. So it's surrounded with like stones and flowers. I painted the flooring and the walls in it to look like dirt, so it looks like a pond. I was going to change the watercolor, but I didn't end up doing that. You can if you want. But it looks really good. So here we are inside the build. I think I'm creating the floor plan. I put the bathroom here and a single bedroom. Originally when I made this house, I wanted it to be a family home. But once I built it and got up in here, I could have. I guess if I got rid of the front porch, but I thought it looked so good that I decided to make it an ultimate bachelor pad. It's pretty nice. Like the design of it is pretty modern and sleek. And yeah, I actually created a sim to live in here as well. And he is a single gay male, and he's lovely. His name is Floyd, and he is on the gallery if you're interested. But yeah, I love it. I played tested with him, and it was just a great sim. So there I am creating the bathroom, and then I move over to create the bedroom in a second here. I put this dark tile floor, and I end up using it throughout in the kitchen as well, the bathroom downstairs. And then the walls were a little harder. I ended up using a light colored tile, and I think it looks pretty good. Like I said, it's all very modern, and that made me happy. Here we are moving on to the bedroom. We just use this simple white bed and some white side tables that are more modern in their appeal. We added a carpet, a dresser, and I think we put a chair in the corner as well, but you'll see. So that is that. I'm not really sure. I haven't had a lot of time to upload videos lately. I don't know if I told you guys this before, but I do work for Simmed Up magazine. I'll put the link in the description. You can check it out. It is a magazine that's completely free to read. It's made for Sim fans, by Sim fans. So it's really fun. We have a lot of fun content. In this month's issue, which just came out yesterday, we have Freezer Bunny. So we have an interview with Freezer Bunny, which is super exciting. His builds are phenomenal. And we also have a few other really interesting things that you should check out. We've got some regular content as well. And there's a ton of ideas for gameplay and building. Yeah, it's a great magazine, and I think you'll like it. I have an article in there. I run a section. It's called Simspiration. So it's pretty much just inspiration for gameplay, a lot of building tips, some lessons, just little things. My article this month was about sentiments and the way that they impact family gameplay. Kind of ironic, seeing as I never did family gameplay. But they do hold a lot of potential, so I decided to write about that. Next month, I'm actually the editor of the magazine, and I am writing an article on landscaping. So I'm just going to do like a landscaping tutorial article. Yeah, I'm really enjoying that. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, I'll leave the link in the description. You can check out the magazine because it is so great and it's totally free to read. Right now, we currently have a shell challenge going on. So if you're looking for some inspiration for building, you can search the hashtag Simmed Up Meg Shell 1. And you will find the shell challenge on the gallery. You download it, put it on any lot you want, turn it into whatever you want. The theme this month is just spring theme, so anything spring, like a garden or whatever if you want. Yeah, and you share it back to the gallery using the hashtag SimsedUpMegShell1. And in March, we're going to go through them at the end of March, and at least one of the builds is going to be featured in the April magazine. So be sure to check that out, because it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to do the shell myself just for fun, but I would love to see what other people create, because honestly, on the gallery, people are just so creative. This wall started out here as being wood. I put wood. I end up putting all these, I put these little things there, but I end up, the wall, I think they're mirrors. I'm not really sure what they are, but they seem to be mirrors, so I put them up on the wall there, and they look really good. Yeah, so the office place in this build is pretty small. It's just tucked into the corner here, and you see it kind of quickly comes together. So that is that. I use these little filing cabinets to hold up the desk. I don't know if you know this, but if you put a computer on the desk and size the desk itself down to be tiny, you can tuck it underneath, and your Sims can use the computer no problem. You can put it on whatever surface you want. So that's pretty cool. I did that here with the shelves. I did find when I was playtesting that every once in a while, if I click the computer and said use, my Sim wouldn't go to use it. But if I click the chair and have him sit down and then use the computer, he did so fine. It didn't happen all the time, but full disclosure, it did happen twice. So just so you know, it might happen. You just click the chair and then hit use and it'll work. From there, I'm just fiddling with everything. I didn't realize it took me so long to do this. But here I'm adding these little mirror things to the wall. It took me forever to place them all. I'm not sure if I have to turn off the notification sounds on my phone too. But I did place them all there, so yeah, it took a really long time. I didn't realize that I showed it all in this video. But that's okay. You can see it coming together, and I am so happy with the way that this turned out, which I've already said, but yeah, I love it. I love it. I want this little office nook in my house. Granted, I have children, so it wouldn't be as pleasant. They're pretty loud, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so you just watch me for the next 5 minutes, fiddle with all this, and yeah, that'll be that. I honestly thought I cut this out. But it ends up looking really good. It's kind of fun to see. I like seeing builders, when they show everything, so you can see how they did it, and you can watch it all come together. That's especially true of people that use that tool mod. I use tool mod once in a while, but at a very basic level. I'll lower things or raise them or change their size and stuff. I have not really played around with tool enough yet. It's something that I aspire to do, but so far I haven't, and I really want to, because that mod is amazing. If you haven't ever seen it, try looking up Twisted Mexi tool mod. Twisted Mexi has a lot of really good mods, actually, but the tool mod is by far the best. It's phenomenal, and pretty much everyone uses it now, so I'm sure you've heard of it. But it really is amazing. The stuff you can do. You can even place things off the lot, so you can decorate the whole world using the tool mod, because you do it all in live mode, not in build mode, so you can place things anywhere. Okay, so we've got the office all set up here, and we are going to maybe we paint the walls. I honestly have no memory of this video at all, and I just edited it yesterday. I should remember. We're going to paint the bedroom here, which took me a minute to figure out what colors I wanted. I knew I wanted gray, because the entire theme of this house, everything is very muted. It's gray and white and black and simple and clean, modern. And I went through a lot of not magazines, but online magazine images for modern home pictures, and all of them were stark white or black or gray or red, you know what I mean, simple, basic colors. And so I took inspiration from that and just added kind of my own cozy touch. I love that chair right there that we got from Snowy Escape with the little shawl over it. All the new furniture we're getting, it just has so much depth. I love that they're finally putting, like, blankets and all that on the back of the chairs and couches. I think that's wonderful. I think it would be better if they gave us the blankets that we could put on, like make a bunch of swatches, give us blankets, and let us throw them on the couch or chair. Wouldn't even be that hard to do, I don't think. I don't know anything about creating content, but I think it wouldn't be too hard. It'd be nice to be able to, like, throw a cozy little wrap over a chair or something. Here we're going to move on to the kitchen. This is probably one of my favorite rooms in the house. It is simple. I use these corporate, I think they're called corporate countertops or something. I never use these, but I use them as this build, and I love the way it looks. I did play around with them a lot, you're going to see coming up, but it ends up looking great. It's just a little galley-style kind of kitchen, but it's open. And yeah, I love it. It's got, like, pops of red throughout this house. I ended up using a lot of, like, little red pops, nothing too extravagant. Here I'm trying to make the kitchen area bigger, but I ended up shrinking it back down because it wasn't working for me. Here I'm putting, like, a little peninsula and a couple of bar stools. I didn't think I was going to fit a table in here, but I did end up. I fit a 2-seater table by the window, which you'll see shortly. And yeah, here it goes. So there's the table, and your Sims can sit there and eat their meals, although I found that my Sim during playtesting always sits in the bar stools. I put a stereo in the kitchen, which I always do. I'm not sure what happened with that. That was very strange, sorry. Anyway, my Sim sat at the bar stools instead of the table, which was strange, but it worked, so I don't care. As long as they're actually sitting down to eat, I'm pretty happy. I did, like I said, I put a stereo in the kitchen, which I always do. That way, as your Sims are cooking and stuff, I always have my Sim listen to music while they're cooking. It raises, like, their fun skill and their cooking skill at the same time. It's quite wonderful. Here I'm just doing the downstairs little, like, I don't know, visitor bathroom. So it's just a toilet and a sink, and I put, like, a shelf in there with towels on it. So nothing too extravagant. It's pretty simple. It has the same floor as the bathroom upstairs, and I'm pretty sure it has the same walls. Although I'm not 100% sure on that. But I do like the way it turned out when you're in game. It's actually super cozy and cute. And yeah, so that's that there. I put that cabinet originally. I did change it out for a more modern one. And I'm happy with the way that it turned out in there as well. Everything in this house just kind of seemed to come together really quickly. You'll see when we move on to the living room, I did create a custom fireplace. It's really easy to do. If you wanted a tutorial, I could do that. There are tutorials for it though online. I think I learned it somewhere. I don't remember if I did or not. You'll see it here. Basically, you just get these, like, they're called goodness something. They're like little tile things, and you size them up once, and then you size down fireplaces. Like, I size them down as small as them now. You could even make them a lot smaller with the tool mod, but I size them down. And you just stick them in the middle, like so. And you gotta take the wall down. Fireplaces want to stick to the wall. So you take down the wall, you size them down, you stick them in the middle, and then you will have a functional fireplace. And it ends up looking really cool. You'll see in the screenshots at the end, the fire just kind of floats above those little black tiles. And I love it. You can add, like, from the kitchen, the range hoods. You can add them over top if you like. The only thing I would say, if you wanted to do this, you have 2 options. Either make sure you have a smoke detector, which you should anyway, or you can upgrade the fireplaces to be auto light and fireproof or something. So the odds of them catching on fire become a lot lower. That's something I would suggest doing if you do plan to download this or play the game. You can always have your Sim when you first move in. You just have them hire a handyman, and the handyman will update the fireplaces to be auto light or fireproof or end. It doesn't matter, but it's better to do that, and then you don't risk your Sim burning to death in the night. Just like real life, I guess. So I do the flooring here, and I'm going to move on to place a couch and a couple of chairs in the living room. It's pretty simple. Like, there's not a whole lot. Like I said, this house is modern, so there is not a ton of furniture. It's all pretty basic. I started out with these eco lifestyle couches. I did end up changing it out, I think, don't take my word for that. But I'm pretty sure I end up changing it out to another one. But I use these little chairs from Eco Lifestyle as well, and I love them. I want them in real life. I ended up, during playtesting, I had to shift them around a bit because my sim was not able to walk by with the coffee table. But it looks good. That's what matters. I put this big pergola out in the back. I accidentally deleted the footage. I don't know how. And I have some string lights along it. And at nighttime it looks so cute. And there's a little picnic table and a barbecue back here, which you'll see later on. But yeah, it just looks so cute, especially with the pond. Once you see the pond go in, it's adorable back here. I want to live here in real life. I would love to have this in my backyard. So here I'm putting in the pond. I actually just did this really quickly. I used octagon-shaped ponds for the pond tool, or pool tool, sorry. And then I pick out all these rocks from Debug. And I just kind of place them all around the pool, and then I mix in some flowers and stuff, and it ends up looking really cute. I put this trim on just to kind of blend it into the ground. And you'll see for a few minutes here, I'm going to be digging around for plants and rocks. And yeah, it takes me a while. I think I cut some of the footage out though, so you won't have to sit here for 20. Yeah, there we go. There it is, all set up. I got some lily pads in there. I added a ladder, and I think it looks awesome. And at nighttime, it's so cute because it all lights up and it's so pretty. But that is about it. We're going to head into screenshots now. And if you like this build, like I said, give it a big thumbs up. That would really help me out. And think about subscribing to the channel so you can be updated every time that I upload. Hit the notification bell because that way you don't miss anything. Take care and enjoy your day. Sim on, Simmers.